While people are out here carefree, taking risks, being spontaneous, I'm thinking about the worst outcomes, worst case scenarios, the consequences of failure. While people are thinking, why not? I'm thinking, why? And why not? I am an overthinker, and it's not all bad, but when it's bad, it's bad. I spend so much time pondering about the smallest things, like why do fools fall in love? Why did Tyler Perry make Why Did I Get Married Too? And why did Holly have to let a white man pop her to get an Oscar? I even had trouble coming up with the title for this video. And I can't tell you how many opportunities I missed out over analyzing situations. Analysis paralysis is a real thing.
Perfectionism and paralysis by analysis has killed more dreams than failure ever could.
I believe that.
As you can see, this is kind of stressful.
You can ruin your life by overthinking everything. And it's hard to stop, I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the hardest things because when
I try so hard not to think so much that I make everything about me. I am so strategic with my decisions, basing them on how they affect me and only me. If I do this, how will this benefit me? What do I get out the situation? I do not want to be a selfless narcissist, but let's be honest, you don't have to be an overthinker to have main character syndrome. But since I'm in my head all day, I tend to have darker thoughts, more extreme thoughts. Have you ever heard of solipsism?
Solipsism is based around the idea that you can't really be sure that anything other than yourself exists because you can't really prove it.
Only your mind is certain to exist. Everything else is just an illusion. That's actually crazy when you think about it. There I go again. I need to focus.
When you're an overthinker in relationships and that person starts being distant from you for whatever reason, your brain starts to flood itself with cortisol, stress hormone, shutting down the logic center in your brain. This is where it gets kind of tricky.
And as far as relationships go, people like me will be single for forever. And if you know me personally, you know me and love have a love-hate relationship. Because on one hand, love can give you a life worth living. And on the other hand, love can get you killed. And even though I try to fight the urge to stay single, my mind tells me no. But because when you think about it, I'm just saying this is just a thought. Being single just sounds better. It's less stress. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about what other people are doing. You can just go home and lay on the floor and won't nobody say anything. You can come home to a dirty house and you fix it. It bothers you. You do stuff when you want to do it. And you don't have to protect somebody all day, every day. That is energy draining. I'm not saying it's a problem, but if you look at both of them, single kind of looks better. But here's my biggest issue. If I do see a woman that I find attractive, I'll simulate me walking up to her, trying to get her number, and getting turned down.
Hey, I like the outfit.
And even after that dark thought I just gave myself, if I'm still brave enough to walk up to the woman and ask for her number and I'm successful, I will simulate the relationship before it even starts. Now, I'm not saying I would simulate us arguing or going on our first date or getting married. That's weird. I wouldn't do that. I would just simulate it ending badly, like we ended up hating each other.
I hate you. You selfish, you arrogant, and so stupid.
Yeah, whatever.
That's still bad, isn't it? It's not weird, but it's still bad. No type of living in the moment. Yeah, we don't do that over here. I don't live in the moment. I know it's bad. But here go one more thing. If she likes me too much, I feel like it's a setup. If she's too hard to read, I don't want to deal with it. And if you think that's bad, oh, it gets worse. Any information I have on a person, don't worry, I will never tell your business. But I will use that information to figure out why you act the way you act. I do a lot of what they call armchair diagnosis.
Please be careful with armchair diagnosing people. Everyone is not a narcissist. Everyone is not emotionally unavailable.
Now keep in mind, I'm totally aware that this video makes me look like a terrible person, and I'm okay with that because the whole point of this video is to find other people that are not terrible, but other people that think like me or kind of think like me.
I'm an overthinker, which if you know an overthinker, don't tell us we're overthinking it. We know. And it's insulting to think that you would think that we haven't thought that we're overthinking.
And when it comes to entertainment, man, I used to love watching football. It was just so fun. Them going back and forth, touchdowns, whatever. A little bit of basketball. Basketball, I don't know. But I ruined it for myself. It's over with. I no longer enjoy watching these sports because I ended up asking myself, why? What is the purpose of these sports? Basketball, you're just trying to get a ball into a hoop. Football, you're running around trying to avoid getting a concussion. In most sports, it's all about taking the opportunity that's given to you. When it comes to interceptions or throwing a punch in a boxing match, all it takes is one punch in a boxing match. It literally takes one punch to end a boxing match. Think about that. The most difficult thing is keeping up the pace, having enough stamina just in case that one punch didn't end the boxing match. And I used to think, maybe I'm just getting too old for sports. Maybe I'm just getting over it. I'm growing out of the sport. I was tired of watching rich people play a game. But then when I would go to work, I would hear all the older gentlemen talk about sports, you know, overexcited, talking about who won and that play was awesome. Yeah, it's even harder now with all these betting apps coming out. It makes me think that it's all fake now. It's all about money. Most of these betting apps are legal, which means at the end of the day, these sports are for money. So what's stopping them from seeing? You notice how I flip-flop through all these different topics. I try so hard not to think so much that I make everything about me. People like me will be single for forever. It literally takes one punch to end a boxing match. Congratulations, now you know how my mind works. I end up having small thoughts, turning into deeper thoughts, going into rabbit holes about nothing. Wait, what was we talking about again?
Polar bears soft. Oh, God.